Jean-Claude Van Damme's rise from a childhood marked by ridicule and invisibility to becoming one of the most recognizable action icons in cinema is a story of resilience, discipline, and relentless pursuit. Known worldwide as the Muscles from Brussels, Van Damme built his legendary physique through a combination of karate, ballet, and bodybuilding, turning his body into a weapon and a canvas for storytelling. Yet beyond the athleticism and cinematic spectacle, his journey is a tale of struggle, pain, and perseverance. He learned early that visibility often comes through vulnerability, and his scars, both physical and emotional, became part of his identity. Behind the fame and the stunts were countless nights of hunger, rejection, and solitude, which shaped the man who would captivate audiences across the globe with strength, agility, and charisma. Early life. The mirror that broke him born. Jean-Claude Camille François van Varenberg in Brussels, Belgium, Van Damme's early years were defined by a struggle with self-image and ridicule. A thin, bespectacled boy, he was often mocked by peers and sometimes adults, leaving him feeling isolated and ashamed. At the age of 11, he stood in front of a mirror and experienced a moment of deep humiliation that would change him forever. In that private confrontation, he vowed never to accept the limitations imposed upon him by others. Instead of succumbing to shame, he internalized it as fuel to grow stronger, faster, and more disciplined. The daily mockery became a teacher, instilling in him resilience and an understanding that endurance could transform pain into power. This early confrontation with insecurity laid the foundation for his relentless work ethic and the iron discipline that would later define both his body and his career. Discipline is salvation. Karate and ballet Van Damme's parents, an accountant father and a florist mother, valued routine and discipline, which influenced his early life. They enrolled him in karate, where under Master Claude Goetz, he endured 4 years of rigorous training that demanded total physical and mental commitment. By 18, he earned a black belt and competed on Belgium's national team, mastering not only techniques but the discipline of perseverance. But physical strength alone was insufficient. Seeking greater control and refinement, he embraced ballet, an art form that demanded precision, flexibility, and emotional vulnerability. Ballet broke him before it built him, teaching him to endure discomfort and channel it into grace. This combination of martial arts and ballet sculpted a body capable of extraordinary feats and set the stage for the cinematic stunts that would astonish audiences worldwide. The dream is born. A night in a church. Around age 12, Van Damme's restless energy led him to a local church, where he quietly whispered 3 wishes: to save the world, protect nature, and become a movie star. This was not mere fantasy, but an act of faith and determination that solidified his lifelong ambition. That night marked the birth of a dream that would sustain him through years of struggle, rejection, and survival. It became the anchor for his relentless training in karate and ballet, providing him a sense of purpose beyond mere physical achievement. In that sacred, silent space, he committed to a life of discipline and vision. From that point, every repetition at the bar, every punishing sparring session, and every humiliation endured in childhood became a step toward making this dream tangible, proving that true ambition often begins in the quiet moments of desperate hope. A new life in America, survival before stardom. In 1982, Van Damme arrived in the United States with $3,000, an accent that marked him as foreign, and a dream that seemed impossibly large. Hollywood appeared as a distant, indifferent constellation, and survival became his daily reality. He lived in a beat-up car, endured hunger, and took any work he could find, delivering pizzas, laying floors, driving limousines, and even working as a bouncer at Chuck Norris's bar. Every audition ended in rejection. Every phone call went unanswered, and each day threatened to erode his resolve. Yet he never stopped training, forcing his body through grueling routines even on an empty stomach. He performed splits, kicks, and conditioning exercises relentlessly, convinced that the dream already existed. In this crucible of adversity, Van Damme transformed his desperation into strength, proving that belief, discipline, and resilience are as crucial as talent in the pursuit of success. First breaks, from background dancer to fight. Film Van Damme's earliest appearances were small but significant. In 1984, he had a brief moment in Breakin' where his remarkable flexibility flashed briefly to audiences who missed the full extent of his skill. The same year, he joined the stunt team for Missing in Action, demonstrating his capacity to endure pain and perform dangerous maneuvers. His first named role came in 1986's No Retreat, No Surrender, portraying Ivan, a Russian fighter. While the film was far from a blockbuster, it provided Van Damme a platform to be noticed, proving that his years of training and perseverance could finally translate into professional recognition. After a childhood of invisibility, he was now seen, not as a mockable boy, but as a disciplined performer capable of commanding attention. These early roles were stepping stones that bridged the gap between survival and stardom. Bloodsport. The moment the world saw him. Everything changed in 1988 with Bloodsport, in which Van Damme starred as Frank Dux, a fighter in a secret martial arts tournament. The film, made on a modest budget, became a massive success, propelling him from obscurity to international recognition. For Van Damme, the release was emotional. For the first time, he felt truly seen. Audiences applauded, critics took note, and the boy who once stood ashamed in front of a mirror became a symbol of discipline and physical mastery. Yet this breakthrough brought new pressures. The public's expectation of constant excellence became an unrelenting force, demanding not just skill, but consistent performance at increasingly high stakes. While Bloodsport launched his career, it also marked the beginning of personal sacrifices and the realization that fame comes with burdens that can be as heavy as the accolades themselves. The price of success, family and absence. Van Damme's meteoric rise came with personal costs. His first marriage to Maria Rodriguez ended after 4 years, strained by his move to Hollywood. A second marriage to Cynthia Derderian lasted barely a year, ending with her candid statement that living with him was hell because he only loved himself. The demands of a growing career often left him physically and emotionally absent from relationships that required time, presence, and attention. Applause, box office earnings, and fan adulation could not fill the silence at home. Despite fame and wealth, Van Damme confronted the reality that career success does not automatically translate into fulfillment in personal life. These experiences underscored the painful lesson that ambition, while transformative, can also isolate and create unintentional wounds in the lives of those we love. Love, betrayal, and the collapse of stability. In 1987, Van Damme married Gladys Portugues, a former bodybuilding champion, and they had 2 children, Christopher and Bianca. For a moment, stability seemed within reach, yet Hollywood's demands, relentless travel, and professional pressures took a toll on their marriage. Constant absence, temptation, and rumors strained the relationship, ultimately leading to divorce in 1992. Van Damme later admitted a complex truth: he was both present and absent, a man achieving his dream yet losing his grip on personal stability. This period revealed that even extraordinary talent and success could not shield him from emotional consequences. The victories on screen came at the expense of intimacy and connection off-screen, leaving scars that endured beyond the physical feats for which he was celebrated. A legend still fighting the hardest battle. Jean-Claude Van Damme's story is more than a chronicle of cinematic achievement. It is a testament to human endurance. His career symbolizes the power of discipline, resilience, and unyielding belief, yet also illustrates the limits of these traits when applied without balance. Even at 65, he confronts the consequences of a life lived at maximum intensity, where love, trust, and personal peace were often sacrificed for ambition. His legend persists because he embodies the truth that strength can emerge from suffering, but it does not erase the wounds that created it. Through triumph and loss, visibility and invisibility, Van Damme's life reminds us that enduring power is not only physical, it is emotional, moral, and profoundly human. His story resonates because it is not just about stunts or fame, but about the cost of realizing a dream.